We know jump roping is a great form of exercise, but who knew the skill could actually save lives? So in this morning's Hometown Hero, we're introducing you to David Fisher, a professional jump roper known as the Rope Warrior. He put his double Dutch jump roping skills to good use when he and his son Felix pulled a teenager out of an icy pond. It all started when the young man's dog chased some geese into some nearby water. The teen followed but couldn't get back up onto shore. That's when Fisher, got it into gear, grabbed his ropes, and took to that ice. Joining me now is the Rope Warrior himself, David. David, welcome to the show. I cannot believe this story, and I'm sorry that your son isn't feeling well to join this morning.
Oh, thank you, Markie. Thank you for having me.
I mean, talk about being in the right place at the right time with the right set of skills. It must be surreal for you to think that your passion, your career actually ended up saving somebody.
Yes, it all kind of happened in slow motion. And the other crazy thing is that I've written a series of science fiction superhero books called Adventures of the Rope Warrior. And so in my head have always been scenarios of how a rope could be used to save or defend, and I never thought it would happen in real life.
Yeah, I mean, it was such an immediate response to go to that you knew that your ropes could come in handy. Take us back to the moment when you knew something was going wrong, because I understand your son was actually the first one to hear all the commotion, correct?
Right, so Felix happened to be outside and he heard a commotion and he came back in and he said, there's a dog that's in the water and I'm gonna go help. And he came back a few seconds later, and I was getting dressed as well. And he said, the young man went in after his dog, and now he's drowning. And so I grabbed the ropes, and we both headed over there. And as we approached the ice, we saw him treading water, but he was screaming that he was going to drown. So I left one of the double Dutch ropes near the shore in case I went in the water. They could. Yeah. Maybe we could make a chain of ropes to get to him. I started heading out on the ice, and I could hear the ice cracking underneath my feet, but I kept my eyes on him, and I knew how much distance I had to close so that I could get him that other end of the rope, because I turn double Dutch in my performances all the time, and sometimes I have to fling the rope around. And so when I finally arrived where I needed to be, I flipped him the rope, and he grabbed it, and I pulled him out.
I mean, it's just the craziest thing that this worked out as well as it did, that he had a professional jump roper nearby with this equipment. I know you were running on adrenaline, I'm sure, at that moment. Do you remember what he said to you in those moments when you pulled him to shore and he knew he was going to be okay?
There wasn't a lot of words exchanged. We were all just thankful that he came out. I put my coat on him. We got him over to our house, and my son had the forethought to already have called the paramedics, and they were on their way. And then once they got there, they were monitoring him, and thank God everything came out okay.
Thank God. And I know that the young man who you saved, I know his name, his identity hasn't been publicly revealed at this point, but has this kind of forged a relationship between your two families? Like, I kind of envision, the two of y'all having Thanksgiving dinners from here on out, just, as a show of gratitude. I'm curious about the relationship moving forward.
We will see. We saw each other at the ceremony that they had in our town, where Felix and I were awarded a little trophy thing. And it was great to see him again. And, he's a student in college, and he's getting on with his life. And, we'll see going forward. But it was great to touch base again.
Yeah, well, being honored was well-deserved. David Fisher, we just loved your story. Thank you so much for coming on to share it, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.